Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be telling you about why you possibly haven't up-leveled, or you haven't up-leveled as much as you want and it's actually not your fault. But there is something you can do about it because it is completely in your control. Where is your subconscious mind actually keeping you safe? By keeping you in your current situation and in your current life. So, going back to the old days, why would our subconscious mind be actively sabotaging us from our desires, right? So first of all, you know that your subconscious mind is 95% of your mind and only 5% of it is conscious. So of course, if your subconscious mind is opposing the conscious, it's going to win. It has a bigger stake in the outcome. It has a bigger influence. And a lot of the times, our actions are actually influenced by our subconscious and not our conscious. So that's also why nighttime affirmations and subliminals are actually really good, because they reprogram the subconscious when the conscious is switched off because you're asleep. But think about it when you're in the old days, right? Think about like the survival days where survival was genuinely unpredictable. Your mind would only want you to go in unsafe environments when it meant life or death, i.e. when it meant getting food or getting supplies, maybe like wood for a fire. Do you really think it would go out of its way and put you in an unsafe position when it threatens your survival just because like you want it, because it's a desire? No, it's gonna be like, no, don't do this, it's unsafe. It's not like life or death if I do this just because I want to, but it is life or death if it's unsafe. You see what I'm saying here? So your subconscious mind is protecting you. It wants to keep you safe, it wants to keep you secure, and the reason it can do that is by only exposing you to predictable situations, because predictable situations can be controlled, they can obviously be predicted, and therefore they're secure. And they're usually comfortable, because the comfortable situations are the ones that are predictable, right? You're not stressing about anything. You're comfortable. So your mind is actively keeping you in those situations. So does that ring any bells? Would you say your current situation right now is comfortable, predictable, it's kind of safe? You might think no. For example, if like you're a person that's genuinely struggling, but obviously if you're in the self-development journey, you're likely in a good position already and you're wanting to up level to the next version of you that gets paid to exist, lives a passive lifestyle, and lives this lovely luxury life of freedom. So right now you're likely in a comfortable position and you're trying to up level yourself to this version of you that is like the ultimate wealth, like goddess lifestyle, essentially. So what do you think your subconscious mind thinks about this lifestyle? Is it comfortable? Is it predictable? Or is it like unknown and therefore unsafe, unsecure, unpredictable? Likelihood is it's unpredictable. So therefore your subconscious mind sees it as a threat. And your current life is like all cozy and cute and comfortable, and you know what you do every day. You're just comfortable, right? Like there's no real need to up level. It's a desire. It's a conscious desire to up level. So your subconscious mind is actually sabotaging you without you realizing it. And unless you do the shadow work to actually realize this, which you can do during this video, after this video, then you will be continuously letting your subconscious mind actually win. And what we always need to say is, thank you, subconscious mind, for keeping me safe, but we're in a new society now and I don't need your protection like this. I know my instincts. I know when I'm in a genuinely unsafe environment, and by me creating a business where I get paid to exist, I am not in an actual and safe environment. You're just not. So how do you recognize if your subconscious mind is actually doing this? How do we know that we're in a safe and comfortable environment? And how do we know that we see or feel like this new life is actually unsafe and uncomfortable? So another way that our mind does this, before I get into how to actually recognize this, is the subconscious follows what's known, because obviously it wants predictability. And a lot of this time, this comes from your parents. So if your parents had a safe and cushy life, the likelihood is you will desire and want to follow that safe and cushy life. So this appears as, for example, following their career path, having kids the same age that they had kids, or a similar income level to your parent that is of the same gender as you. Or maybe you're like having a same income level or getting inspiration from your brother or sister or someone else in your family. And it's because we get influenced by our family because they're showing us what's normal, what's possible, and what we deserve. So we're following our roots, right? You know why people say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? So like if your parents grew up loaded and they were wealthy and everything, they had their own estate and they were like, say they own like real estate, right? You're likely to go into real estate too. Do you really want to go into real estate? Well, there's no time to question that. You follow what your parents do. You follow the family tradition, maybe. Maybe you inherit something and you have to do it like a business or a shop. That's familiar to you because you've been shown this is what's normal, possible, what you're capable of, and it's showing you what you deserve because this is your family's deservingness, right? Other families have more, other families have less, but this is what you are being provided with. When obviously that's not true at all. We can all break family traditions, we can break generational curses, we can break generational poverty, and we can also break, more commonly, generational normalness. Like, you're not poor but you're not rich. It's just normal, it's average, it's boring. We can break this generational boringness by rewiring our brain to program us for success, not for normality, not for morbidity, if that's even a good right word. Not to retire and then live for 10 years and then you die from a heart attack because your whole life has been stressful, because you've been working for money, working under a bad boss. Like, that's just so morbid in my opinion. And I'm sure you agree because you're on this video. So literally, this is what you're going to do to actually recognize this. You need to ask yourself this couple of questions. So the first one is, where do you actually like your current life? This is a journal prompt. It's like a shadow journal prompt. So if you've got a journal in front of you, where do you actually like your current life? The likelihood is there's a lot of ways that you like your current life because you got a good life. You're comfortable and cushy and like it's predictable. You're doing really well for yourself. You know, you're doing your inner work, your shadow work, your self-development work. So yes, you like your life. But then think of the negative ways as well. Where do I like my life? For example, if someone is, for example, overweight, or they have some sort of visible difference, like I said, maybe it's a skin condition, maybe it's being overweight, maybe it's just something else that's visible to the human eye, right? A lot of the time, something like this can be caused by a mental need to keep you safe and away from being seen, almost like a physical barrier from the world. So a way of maybe, hold on, let me think about this a sec. It's also a way of maybe you don't want what's on the other side. So for example, say someone's overweight, they don't want to be seen when they're really super skinny and they're super like fit and healthy and all these things. Maybe they don't want the attention. So the overweightness is a way of staying comfortable and hidden. You hide under like these clothes. It keeps you unseen. It doesn't get you noticed by like men in the street, for example. This is you being comfortable. You don't want to be seen. And this is a way that you're liking your current life. So you think you want to change it, but really you're liking it. It's comfortable, it's safe, it's predictable, and it's keeping you hidden. And you want to be hidden because in the wild, if you weren't hidden and you was out in the wild, you were going to get eaten. So where are you actually liking your current life in those negative areas? I say negative because sometimes we think that they're negative, but they're not. For example, you being stuck at this income level your whole life is not particularly bad if you're earning good wages. It's just stagnant. So to you, it's perceived as bad, but to a lot of people, that might be their desired income goal. So where do you actually like the areas of your life that you want to improve on? So maybe it is income level. For example, if you want the 10k months, where are you keeping yourself from those 10k months? Do you not like the sound of the responsibility? Do you not want the stress? Do you not want the hard work? All limiting beliefs, by the way. Do you not want to be seen? You don't want to be heard. What if you upset people? What might people think? What if you say something and then you get cancelled and there's a video about you? All these things are keeping us safe. So maybe you see this next income goal as something that holds a lot of responsibility, or it's really hard, or you require the hard work, it might be stressful. All of these limiting beliefs are going to come up for you. And unless you sit there and think to yourself and you have a genuine, you journal a few times, maybe you meditate on it, and you just constantly ask yourself this question, you're looking inside of yourself. You don't look outside of you. You don't ask anything or anyone, why can't I elevate? Why can't I get to this goal? You don't do that. You ask yourself, you look inside of you and do the inner work, because your answers are inside of you. No one else knows what's going on inside your brain but you. So you have to ask yourself, where am I keeping myself away from responsibility? Where am I keeping myself away from hard work, stress, something that I'm not capable of doing, or something that I don't deserve, or something that I don't want to be seen, or I don't want to be heard, I want to stay where I am? You don't realize that you have these spheres. When you think of them initially, like if they pop up, you might be like, no, it's not because I think that earning 10k a month, everyone will hate me. Like, it can't be that. So like, let me think of another reason. But the truth is the brain is irrational. It doesn't think rationally. It has irrational thoughts. So when something irrational comes up that doesn't really make sense, the likelihood is that is a reason. That is something that's preventing you from doing what you want to do, getting paid to be you, posting YouTube videos, posting Instagram videos, becoming a coach, becoming a public figure, is because of these reasons. So when a reason comes up for you, trust the very first thing that comes up and write it down. If you're meditating on it, write it down. A lot of the time what I'll do when I'm meditating is, you know, when all these thoughts come to your mind, when you start to relax, I'm like, oh, like all these thoughts are coming up, like I don't know what to do with them. I'm trying to dissipate them and make them go away so I can start my meditation, but I can't. And a lot of the time is because those thoughts are coming up for a reason. You've given yourself the space and the quietness to actually listen to yourself, and now they're finally coming up. So you shouldn't be pushing them away from you as such. But if a thought comes up of something to do or something to remember or an idea, actually just write it down real quick. And then when you feel like you've got all of those urgent thoughts out of your mind on a list, then you can begin the meditation. But that's a great thing to do to first initially do before your meditation. Not only does it make your meditation more effective, but it means that you can do a bit of inner work as well as doing the meditation, because a lot of these things will come up when you start to relax and give yourself a moment of peace and quiet. So ask yourself, where is my current position keeping me safe? Safe from the world, safe from yourself, safe from your thoughts, your feelings. A lot of the time, one of the times when I was coming up with something that was affecting me in a certain way, in a certain physical way, for example, I'll say physical example, I was like, why do I have this? Like, why is this like wrong with me? Should we say wrong with me? And then I'm like, I have no idea. And I was like doing all this reflection, childhood work, like inner work. And I was like reflecting on my whole life, and I was like, there's loads of things that have happened. I mean, I have a couple of bigger things that have happened, but, you know, probably not that. And you'll find that it's not even the big things sometimes. I realised it was actually something from childhood, from primary school, that I didn't think affected me at all. So someone said something to me in childhood at primary school multiple times, and I was like, no, it can't be this. Like, I didn't really get affected by it that much. And then when I started to sit with it and fully remember the events, I realized that a lot of the times it was actually really traumatic. And then I started to remember all these events where I was actually bursting out crying, and I was like, I didn't remember this part of my childhood before, and now when I'm thinking about it, I remember now, and my brain has like blocked it out. So where in your life has something happened to cause you to then want a life of safety? And a lot of the times it will be something that you don't remember, or you think you don't remember. So that's why it's a really important thing to do, is to jot down all of the things that come up for you. Not everything that's happened in your life, but the things that come up in the moment. Trust that those are the things that matter. Don't list every single thing in your life. Just list the thing that's related to this topic, the thing that you personally are coming up with. Your brain is telling you. When your brain tells you something, it's for a reason, likely. So don't brush it off. There's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of things that we come up with that are irrational, that are trying to keep us safe. And all as it requires normally is for you to acknowledge that irrational thought, challenge it, and then when you realize it's actually stupid and you don't need to keep thinking this, then your brain will just be like, gone, disappeared, and it'll just dissipate on its own. As long as you give it the space to be present, just like emotions, as long as you give them the space to be present, then they'll dissolve on their own. And then you're holding on to no negative thoughts and no negative emotions. But if you don't allow it to come up and you don't give it the time of day, it will never get dissolved. So that's why it's so important to do this kind of inner work and shadow work. So hope that video helped you. Leave any comments down below if you have any questions. Don't forget to ask yourself these questions. Where is your current situation keeping you safe? Where do I actually like my current life? Those negative parts, where do I actually like it? Where am I benefiting from being where I'm at right now? And then you can start to rewire your subconscious mind by asking yourself why and dissolving them limiting beliefs. And then your mind might actually let you elevate to that next level, because now it sees it as something more safe and more predictable, because you've dissolved those irrational limiting thoughts. See what I mean here? Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Have a lovely, lovely day. And don't forget to sign on to the notifications for Paid to Exist, because this is what we talk all about in there. The shadow work and then the light work in order to get paid to be you. So sign up to that down below, because it will be out in the next few weeks. Bye.